Have a nice day, children. Today we will see about Industrial Revolution from History Unit 10. Goods began to produced not by hand but by the machines. In the later half of the 18th century, major changes occurred in the method of production. This profound transformation is described as the Industrial Revolution. This increased the volume of goods produced exponentially. The changes were not only economic but made a profound impact on society and politics. Society transformed from an agrarian and handicraft economy to one dominated by factory and machine production. Starting in England first, it spread to other parts of the world. Attributes of Industrial Revolution. First one is use of new basic materials. That materials are iron and steel. Next one is use of new energy sources, that is coal, electricity, petroleum. Another one, invention of new machines such as the spinning jenny and the power loom that increased the production. Next, attributes of emergence of a new organization known as the factory system, which entailed increased division of labor and specialization of work. Next, attributes are development in transportation and communication. Next one is increasing application of science to industry. The last attributes is the use of new technology. Okay, beginnings of Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution began in England first because it had certain external factors. They were England had abundant resources and possessed colonies, with India being the brightest jewel in the British crown. Access to coal, iron and raw cotton from the colonies. England possessed the required infrastructure for textiles. England had a developed banking system. Encouragement of the Royal Society of England for scientific discoveries and inventions, and political stability of England to bestow its full attention to industrial growth. Invention of steam power. In the 18th century, British mine owners were faced with the problem of water seeping into the mines. Water had to be removed to extract coal, so they employed additional laborers to pump the water out. Employing human labor cost a lot of money. It was at that juncture the British engineer Thomas Newcomen invented a contrivance to pump the water out of mines. But the mechanism he developed consumed too much fuel. James Watt, a Scottish engineer, converted a stationary steam engine to a rotary engine which consumed less fuel. Next topic is development in textiles. Before the Industrial Revolution, the spinning and weaving of cloth were undertaken for domestic and local consumption. It was done at home or in a small shed place. The production also took place on a cottage scale. The manually operated spinning wheel required 4 to 8 spinners to supply yarn to one handloom weaver. In 1733, John Key invented the flying shuttle, which, when operated by hand, increased the speed of the weaving of cloth. In 1764, the James Hargreaves invented the spinning jenny. This machine spun 8 threads at one and the same time. 2 years later, Richard Arkwright invented the water frame. This spinning frame used water power in the place of manpower. The water frame was too big to be run at home. Thus was born the factory. In 1779, Samuel Crompton invented his spinning mule, which included a combination of both the spinning jenny and the water frame. It spun hundreds of threads simultaneously and produced 8 fine and coarse threads. Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin in 1793, removing the seed from the cotton. Textile manufacture was at the heart of the Industrial Revolution. Over a span of 50 years, the textile manufacturing industry in Britain witnessed a transformation in the method of production from handmade to machine-made goods. The newly invented machines enabled factories to produce textile goods in large quantities. Derbyshire, Lancashire, Cheshire, Staffordshire, Nottinghamshire and Yorkshire became the major factory centers. The most notable was Manchester, which had more than 50 mills in 1802. These factories involved in mass production were organized on the principle of division of labor. Next we will see about iron and steel. The rolling mill, that is machine for rolling steel or any other metal into sheets. It proved to be 15 times faster than hammering wrought iron. Hot blast greatly increased fuel efficiency in iron production. In 1856, Henry Bessemer discovered a faster and cheaper method of producing steel. In course of time, iron and steel came to be used in making all machines and in all industries. Next we will see about mining. The development of factories by Arkwright and the improvement of the steam engine by James Watt further increased demand for coal. As a result, coal mines became deeper and deeper, making it more and more dangerous. As miners used oil lamps in the mines, the risk of explosion was high, leading to the death of miners. This was reduced by the invention of a safety lamp by Sir Humphrey Davy in 1815. Next, transportation and communication. Industrial revolution was dependent on good transportation. As production increased, raw materials had to be brought from afar to the factories. After the goods were produced, they had to be transported to the markets. As a result, new networks of canals, roads, and railroads were built. Macadamized roads and George Stephenson's steam locomotive helped to improve road and railway transport system in the country. John Loudon McAdam was a pioneering Scottish engineer who single-handedly changed the way roads were built around the world. Macadamized road came to be adopted adopted world over. The railway date back to 6th century BC in Corinth, Greece. They were man or animal driven. In the 16th century, Germany had horse powered rail transport. Modern rail transport commenced with the British development of the steam locomotives in the early 19th century. The first railway line in England was opened between Stockton and Darlington in 1825. In the next 40 years, 1,500 miles of railway network was completed. Robert Fulton of the US invented the steamboat called Clermont in 1807 that sailed from New York to Albany, covering 150 miles. After a few years, steamboats carrying cargo shuttled on the rivers and coastlines. By 1830, the 40 miles between Manchester and Liverpool could be covered in an hour and a half. Let's see about the effects of the Industrial Revolution in England. Industrial Revolution led to the expansion of trade, the production of more food, emergence of factory workers as a new class, the rise and growth of cities resulting in rapid urbanization and organized working class movements seeking votes rights and regulation of their service conditions brought about a new dynamics in politics. Impact on environment and living conditions. The use of chemicals and fossil fuels that replaced wind, water, and firewood resulted in increased air and water pollution. The Industrial Revolution marked a major turning point in Earth's ecology and humans' relationship with the environment. The Industrial Revolution helped create opportunities for employment for all members of the family. However, the life for the laboring class was miserable. Children were employed in textile mills because they worked for lower wages. In 1842, the British Parliament published a report about the state of coal mining, the Mines Report. Safety was very poor in early industrial factories and mines. The injuries from machinery would vary from mild burns, arm and leg injuries to whole fingers to be cut off or amputations of limbs and even death. Let's see about urbanization. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, England became the workshop of the world. There was, however, a general decline in agriculture. This resulted in the flow of population from villages to industrial towns. Population growth, migration, and urbanization were the major social changes taking place during this period. The city of London grew from a population of 2 million in 1840 to 5 million in 40 years. Manchester's cool climate was ideal for textile production. Manchester became the textile capital of the world, drawing huge numbers of migrants to the city. In 1771, Manchester was a sleepy town of 22,000 people. Over the next 50 years, its population exploded and reached up to 180,000. Socio-economic consequences. While the peasants were pauperized and the working class suffered, the middle class became wealthy by investing capital in trade and industry. The governments of the day were influenced by them. All legislations safeguarded their interests. Laborers were not permitted to form trade unions. It was under these circumstances that socialism as a new ideology was born in Europe. Karl Marx advocated scientific socialism for the protection of the working class from the exploitative policies of the capitalist class. By the later half of the 19th century, there were strong working class movements all over Western Europe which demanded economic as well as political rights. Labor movement. The working class in a large gathering prepared a charter of demands and obtained signatures from millions of fellow workers. The charter was presented to the House of Commons, that is English lower house in the Parliament, England. Known as Chartism, this working class movement was active between 1836 and 1848. The Chartists called for voting rights to every man over 21 years of the age, secret ballot, that is voting, abolition of property, qualification of members of the parliament, annual parliamentary elections, and equal representation. Next we will see about spread of industrial revolution. Industrial revolution in France. France did not possess as much natural resources as England. The political instability caused by the French Revolution and the prolonged Napoleon Wars wrecked the country. Many of those French businessmen who had sought refuge in Britain during the Revolution on their return to France after Napoleonic Wars used British technology. This helped to accomplish industrial revolution in their country. The adoption of British-made spindlers led to a twofold increase in French textile production during 1830 to 1860. The Francois de Vendel family brought British technology to Lorraine. The family introduced steam engine in coal mining and puddling kilns for iron smelting. By the 1860s, the de Vendel family employed over 20,000 workers. By diversifying its business, it entered other industries such as railroad construction and shipbuilding. He was a Francois de Vendel family. Okay, in 1832, the first French railroad, Saint Etienne Andresieux line, was opened. Numerous railroad lines followed. By the end of the 19th century, France had become prominent for its automobiles. The two biggest automobile companies of today's France were started in 1891. Armand Pigot produced his first batch of automobiles. In 1898, Louis Renault built the quadricycle, from which he began to produce in large quantities under his company. The Society Renault Frères, that is company Renault Brothers. Industrial Revolution in Germany. Before we saw Industrial Revolution in France, now we will see about that is in Germany. Germany had the natural resources required for an industrial revolution. Large coal reserves were located in the areas of Saar, Ruhr, Upper Silesia, and Saxony. The most significant challenge to Germany's Industrial Revolution was its political setup. Before 1871, Germany was made of numerous German states, with Prussia being the biggest. With the use of steam engines, the number of factories in Prussia grew from 419 in 1837 to 1444 in 1849. In 1871, Prussia finally united Germany. Germany emerged as the most industrialized country by the end of the 19th century. In electrics, Germany offered companies like Siemens. In chemicals, Germany excelled in the production of potassium salt dyes, pharmaceutical products, and synthetics. Companies like Bayer and Koch led the chemical industry of Germany. Germany became a leader in automobile industry. Daimler and Benz became the most popular brands of automobiles in Germany and the world. Next we will see about Second Industrial Revolution in United States of America. Samuel Slater, a citizen of England, having worked at a cotton mill from age 10, had gained enough experience to operate a mill. On learning that Americans were interested in the new techniques, Slater departed for New York in 1789 illegally. Slater offered his services to Moses Brown, a leading Rhode Island industrialist who had earlier made an unsuccessful attempt to operate a mill. Brown agreed, and in consequence, the mill became operational in 1793, being the first water-powered roller spinning textile mill in the Americas. By 1800, Slater's mill had been duplicated by many other entrepreneurs as Slater grew wealthier and his techniques more and more popular. Andrew Jackson, the US President, hailed him as father of the American Industrial Revolution. The United States in the 19th century began to show technological innovation. Robert Fulton established the steamboat service on the Hudson River. Samuel F. B. Morse's invention of the telegraph and Elias Howe's invention of the sewing machine came before the Civil War. After there was unprecedented urbanization and territorial expansion in the US as a result. Between 1860 and 1900, 14 million immigrants came to the country, providing workers for a variety of industries. The invention of electric bulb by Thomas Alva Edison in the year 1879 and telephone by Alexander Graham Bell the year 1876 changed the world beyond recognition. Next, John D. Rockefeller merged the operation of many large companies to form a trust. His Standard Oil Trust came to monopolize 90% of the industry and reduced competition. These monopolies affected the smaller companies and even threatened them. The US government supported the industrial growth by providing land for construction of railroads and protected the American industry from foreign competition. The Industrial Revolution quickened the process of the transition of the United States from a rural to an urban society. Working class strikes. The difficult working conditions in the factories, long hours of work, low wages, exploitation of women and children contributed to the growth of labor unions. After the Civil War, workers organized strikes. One major strike was the Great Railroad Strike of 1877. Wage cuts in the railroad industry in the context of a prolonged economic depression led to the strike, which began in West Virginia and spread to three additional states over a period of 45 days before being crushed by a combination of vigilance, National Guardsmen, and Federal Army. Haymarket Massacre. A labor protest took place on 4th May 1886 at Haymarket Square in Chicago. What began as a peaceful rally in support of workers striking for an 8-hour day resulted in the killing of several workers by the police. To commemorate the Haymarket Affair, 1st May 1887 is observed as the Labor Day or May Day or International Workers' Day. We will see in the important inventions of the Industrial Revolution era. You look at the table and learn. Inventions, then inventor and the year. Last one, impact of Industrial Revolution in India. Until the middle of 18th century, England was an agricultural country and India was known for its excellence in manufactures as well as in agriculture. When the British established their foothold in Bengal as a territorial power, the loot from Bengal and the Carnatic provided the required capital and helped accomplish industrial revolution in England. The weavers of Bengal suffered at the hands of the company's officials and their agents. A transist duty for the commodities they carried from one place to another and later for cultivation of commercial crops required for British industries in England. Because of loss of market for hand-woven cotton goods, India lost her old industrial position and became an exporter of raw material. Weavers who were eking out an independent livelihood were thrown out of employment because of flooding of British factory made cheap cotton fabrics in Indian markets. The collector of Madurai reported that families of about 5,000 weavers did not have the means to take more than one meal of rice a day. The collector of Tirunelveli observed that the weaving population has outdone its means of subsistence and trammels of caste prevent them from taking to other work. Millions died of starvation in famines. To escape starvation deaths, peasants and artisans had to move out of the country, opting to working on plantations in British Empire colonies. Thank you, Ma. You take care of yourself. Go through the lesson and learn book back question and answer.